Once upon a time, nestled high in the misty mountains, lived a wise, old Zen master. His reputation for profound wisdom traveled far and wide, reaching a young man named Kenji, who was struggling with the weight of his own worries. Kenji felt trapped by his anxieties, his mind a constant storm of what-ifs and if-onlys. He felt like he was carrying a heavy, invisible burden everywhere he went. Determined to find a solution, he embarked on a long journey to seek the master's guidance. After days of arduous travel, Kenji finally arrived at the serene monastery. He found the master meditating peacefully in a garden, surrounded by meticulously raked sand and ancient bonsai trees. Taking a deep breath, Kenji approached and bowed respectfully. "Master," he began, his voice trembling slightly. "I have traveled a great distance to seek your wisdom. My mind is filled with constant worry and regret. I feel like I'm carrying a heavy boulder on my back, and it's crushing my spirit. Please, can you teach me how to let go of this burden?" The Zen master slowly opened his eyes, his gaze calm and penetrating. He looked at Kenji with a gentle smile and simply said, "Follow me." He led Kenji out of the garden and along a winding path that snaked up the mountainside. The path was steep and rugged, littered with loose stones. As they walked, the master bent down, picked up a large, heavy rock from the side of the path, and handed it to Kenji. "Carry this for me," I instructed. Confused but obedient, Kenji took the rock. It was heavier than it looked, its rough surface digging into his palms. At first, it was manageable. He held it tightly and followed the master, his steps still relatively light. But as they continued to climb, the rock began to feel heavier and heavier. His arms started to ache, and his shoulders burned with strain. The sun beat down on them, and sweat dripped from his brow. He struggled to keep pace with the master, who walked with an effortless grace. Every step became a monumental effort. His breath came in ragged gasps. The rock, once just a simple object, had transformed into an agonizing burden. Kenji wanted to complain, to ask why he had to carry this pointless weight, but he held his tongue, trusting in the master's purpose. After what felt like an eternity, they reached a small plateau overlooking a breathtaking valley. The master stopped and turned to Kenji, who was now panting, his entire body trembling from exhaustion. "Are you tired?" the master asked, his voice still as calm as a tranquil lake. "Yes, master," Kenji gasped, barely able to speak. "This rock, it's so heavy. I don't think I can carry it any further." The master nodded, then put it down. Kenji stared at him, bewildered. "Put it down. Just like that?" "Yes," the master replied. "Put it down. Put it down." Without a second thought, Kenji let the rock fall from his grasp. It landed with a heavy thud, and an immediate wave of relief washed over him. He stretched his aching arms, feeling the blood rush back into his fingers. The release was so profound, so liberating that he almost felt light enough to float. He stood up straight, taking in a deep, clean breath of mountain air for what felt like the first time. He looked at the rock lying on the ground, then back at the master, a dawning realization in his eyes. The master smiled knowingly. "Ah," he said softly, "the worries and regrets you carry in your mind are just like that rock. They feel heavy, don't they?" Kenji nodded, speechless. "You weren't meant to carry them forever," the master continued. "They are heavy because you choose to hold on to them. The longer you carry them, the more they weigh you down, draining your strength and clouding your vision. You become so focused on the weight that you forget to see the beauty of the path you are on." He gestured towards the stunning valley below them. I don't know how to put them down," Kenji admitted, his voice quiet. "They feel like a part of me." "Did you struggle to put down the rock just now?" the master asked. "No," Kenji replied. "You told me to, so I just let it go." "Exactly," the master said. "Letting go of your worries is a decision, a simple act. It is not a complex battle you must win. It is a choice you make in this very moment. You acknowledge the thought, the worry, the regret. You see it for what it is, a rock you picked up along your journey. And then you consciously decide to put it down and leave it behind," he explained further. "This doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend they don't exist. It means you don't carry the weight of things you cannot change. You cannot change the past. You cannot control the future. You can only act in the present. Carrying the rock of yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's anxieties prevents you from walking freely today. Kenji looked at the rock on the ground. It was just a rock. It had no power over him unless he chose to pick it up. He realized that for years, he had been picking up these mental acts, a mistake he made. A harsh word someone said, a fear of failure, and carrying them with him every single day. He had become so accustomed to the weight that he forgot he had the power to simply open his hand and let them fall. Your mind can be a beautiful garden or a barren wasteland, the master concluded. It all depends on what you choose to cultivate. If you fill it with heavy stones, there will be no room for flowers to grow. Learn to put down the stones, Kenji. Put them down every day, every hour, every moment you notice you are carrying them. Your freedom is not found in a distant future. It is found in the simple, powerful act of letting go, right now. Tears of gratitude welled up in Kenji's eyes. He bowed deeply to the master, a profound sense of peace settling over him for the first time in years. The weight on his shoulders was gone, replaced by a newfound lightness and clarity. He understood. The secret wasn't to become stronger to carry the burden, but to become wise enough to know it was never his to carry in the first place. As he made his way back down the mountain, Kenji felt like a new person. The path no longer seemed so arduous. He noticed the vibrant wildflowers growing by the trail, heard the cheerful song of the birds in the trees, and felt the gentle breeze on his face. The world hadn't changed, but his perception of it had. He was no longer a man crushed by the weight of his thoughts. He was free, walking with a light step and an open heart, leaving the heavy stones of his worries behind on the mountainside. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content that helps us navigate our inner worlds. See you next time.